Alright guys, I just made the most stupid mistake ever. I was live streaming for about 25 minutes without turning my live stream on, and I have been talking for about 25 minutes without basically doing anything. I'm so sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I have been discussing a lot with myself. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this was wow. Okay, let me quickly arrange some stuff. Haha, yeah, it was. This is one of the most stupid mistakes I've ever made. I was literally talking to myself for 25 minutes about the CPI, and now we don't have a lot of time to discuss. And I also have my stream on somewhere. Yeah. Now we don't have a lot of time to discuss the CPI, but something I was discussing was the charts I'm looking into for the CPI. Possible pump after the CPI comes out, a very small pump, and then a dump, like we discussed in this morning's update video also. Something I'm going to be aware of, but I will give a little bit more details about that after the CPI releases. Then I was also discussing a new trading setup I'm currently looking into for Bitcoin actually, because I think we have a very interesting Bitcoin setup ahead of us here, potentially breaking to support. And this is a level where I do want to be opening another Bitcoin long position. So yeah, the data is dropping in 3 minutes, so I will be coming back to the trading setup in about 5 minutes. Actually, I had been charting it out while I was talking to it earlier. But I will be going back to those charts because we have been doing somewhat of a deep dive here into Bitcoin. But first of all, let's focus on the CPI now, because that is going to come out in a few minutes here. This was so dumb. All right, perfect. What's your prediction, mate? I will discuss that a little bit later. Everybody's laughing at me. Probably some people were waiting on the stream like, why isn't he going live yet? I was literally in OBS, but just without clicking the button, going live. But yeah, data is going to drop in 2 minutes. Trading economics, we're looking into a forecast of 3% here. That is something I thought I opened here. Let me CPI inflation data. But I want to look into the US inflation rate. There we go. US inflation rate, last reading was September at 3%. And that's also exactly what we are expecting for this inflation rate at 3%. So you guys might know by now a number lower than that is going to increase the chance of more rate cuts in 2025. Number coming in much higher than this is going to decrease the chance of another rate cut in 2025. So that is something you should be aware of here. And that is why it's going to cause a lot of volatility. I will go back to the 5-minute charts here, which I was opening. 5 minutes. 5. Alright. We've just seen sort of a pump and dump for both Bitcoin and ETH. And the data is coming out now. Data's coming out now. US continuing jobless claims 224k, estimated 225k. Okay, that's not very interesting data. Whoa, it comes in much lower than expected. This is very good news for the crypto prices, and we are seeing an insane pump. Or not that insane, but we are seeing a pump because this is very good news. Or is this not true? Right, let me check. US consumer prices. I think it came out at... let me check. Let's just check trading economics. 2.7 indeed. Very good numbers, guys. Very good numbers. Let me quickly post this on X. This is a huge difference indeed. And I'm eager to see what this is doing with those rate cut probabilities. All right. Going to do a quick post here. Then I will be going back to X. Very good numbers. Boom. All right. There we go, back to X, breaking United States CPI year over year. Actual 2.7, expected 3.1. So a huge difference on this CPI print, which is definitely super interesting. This marks the biggest drop in US inflation since March 2025. The biggest drop in inflation since March 2025. Core CPI is also only 2.6. Yes, it's looking very, very good. Let's see on Polymarket what the rate cut probabilities might be doing. Let me quickly fix this. All right. All right, should be back now, sorry. Should be back now. $25 BPS rate cut probabilities are spiking a little bit here to 26, but it's not what I would have been expecting, since this data is pretty insane. %0.4% off. That's a huge difference. I would say easy 20%, 30% bump on expectation of rate cut odds. Yeah, we are moving up now, 27%. Let's keep our eyes on the chart here. All right. I have posted all of the data, and now let's look into what we have with those rate cut odds, because the US inflation coming in so much lower than expected is giving the Fed, of course, more room to cut rates, but actually I would have been expecting a much bigger bump in these expectations here. let's move into Fed Watch. If there is going to be a difference. No, it's the same as Poly Market, but Fed Watch is a little bit slower with getting updated, and the reaction is very weak actually once again for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, you can clearly see that there is just a lot of weakness in the markets here. And let's see what we might be doing on the bear flag pattern, because we are indeed facing some resistance, like I discussed in the non-live stream. Maybe let me start off by the beginning. Let me dive into what you can clearly see on the short-term Bitcoin price action over the last few days is that most of those moves up do get reversed, and we see all of these pump and dumps. In my opinion, this is just a price action you see where most people are going to get shaken out before eventually you see a big decision in the market, because all of these are just big liquidation events eventually. And unless Bitcoin is going to initiate and break out of this range, we are going to trade in the same sentiment, I think. So, or Bitcoin needs to make a break here to the top side or the downside, of course. I think the most likely scenario is going to be a breakdown, because looking into the bear flag, we could now actually reclaim it, so that could invalidate my thesis, but we have been getting rejected from exactly this level all of the times and the 3 daily candles before this on the bear flag. If you're going to see another rejection, I think it's going to be likely that Bitcoin continues its way to the downside. And then I'm looking into this exact support level from up 71 to 74k, where we could potentially be opening a new Bitcoin long position. If Bitcoin is going to move to the top side, which I think is the more unlikely scenario, to be honest, then we need to go back to this chart also. This is the bear flag. You can also see it here as an ascending triangle. And you can also see it here on Lbank. Here's the bear flag. But if we would be moving higher, I think we are moving towards that 100k level. And to that 100k level, maybe a little bit high, but I think there we could see the first possibility of Bitcoin getting rejected. But ultimately, the best move for a trade, in my opinion, would be a breakdown here and then a long position all the way back towards that 100k level. I think that is a very interesting trade we could be making here in the near future. Going back to the odds, still a 27% chance that the Fed is going to cut rates by 25 basis points. So we are not moving up a lot on quite some insane data. So that is a bit weird, I would say. Ether, Bitcoin. It could still be happening a little bit later also, but yeah, this is of course a big data point we have ahead of here. So now we are back to the July and June levels actually, which is quite insane. Can we see the update here? Yep, we can. We missed the October report indeed. We missed the October report. Missed October. So yeah, quite some insane data. But this is the Bitcoin trading position I'm currently eyeing. If you potentially want to open a similar position, or you want to trade ETH or a lot of other altcoins, make sure to check out Lbank. We currently have a new campaign running here with, let me quickly share it, with a 50% deposit bonus again and some other gifts to win. So might be nice for the holiday season. Make sure to check this campaign out with the link in the description under this live stream. It's going to be much appreciated, of course. Once again, you can find the link there. And yes, I'm going to be prepared to open a trading position, probably on another account. I will be loading it up with some more funds. I might be opening another position, like 2 positions, one on WEX also, because I do like WEX a lot too. And actually, I want to show something interesting. And that is, I think I just got some notifications that potentially, I think we just hit a trade in the private community. Yes, which I quickly do want to show. In the private community, we just hit it like a very good trade on ETH here. He longed ETH just before the CPI data, I think, or maybe a little bit before, yeah, a little bit before. And on the CPI data, he did take out his partial. So once again, another amazing trade by Razel, one of our traders, because he also shorted this entire Bitcoin move here yesterday, where we saw the major pump and then the dump back. He shorted that entire move also. We also have a new take profit here on Sui from Cryptex. So yes, it is going very well, and you can see that the community is literally printing on his trades. Thanks Razel. They have been following his trading positions, and they have been doing quite well. And you can see it on all the profits. It's only yesterday's this actually. This is only yesterday still. And then this week, quite insane how much profits we are making in the VIP community. So make sure to come and check it out. I will just share a quick message. Amazing trade by Razel. Very good. Very, very good. Alright, let me check the chat. I will turn bullish now. People are waiting for the direction of the stock market. Maybe, maybe. Bottom should be in at 80k. Let's see. I think a potential drop lower is still a very interesting scenario, but I've been laying out the levels I'm looking at. I'm just going to be patient here, because there's of course always going to be a possibility of breaking higher. But I'm just going to be patient here with my next trading position. And I think this range is going to decide a lot for us, which is also still getting suppressed by the yearly open here for Bitcoin, by the way. We are now on the verge of breaking back into the bull flag, I must say. This is looking good. We are pumping up. Maybe let's do a quick check how the US futures market is doing. US pre-market. US pre-market is up. Of course, if you trade, be very patient. Nvidia core pre-market. Yeah. Oh, Nvidia, indeed. Crazy. Let me see then. US pre-market is up, but not insanely. Yeah, Nasdaq is up quite big. 1% here. The Nasdaq is up quite big. US 500 futures. Yeah, same can be future also moving up on the CPI. Futures, Ethereum, Bitcoin. But is this pump going to get reversed once again? It is exactly playing out in this scenario, I must say. Into this scenario. But okay, let's see. Let's watch this pump develop. I'm also going to mute myself for 1 sec here. 1 second, I will be back. Alright, I'm back. Bitcoin continues its pump here. Labels. Last price 88k. Could this be the moment that Bitcoin finds its momentum back on this CPI print? Maybe. Of course, this is something you're going to look into. If Bitcoin is going to continue its move. The previous high. But yeah, Razor's trade is playing out quite amazingly once again here. Very good. US futures keep on moving up. Ethereum keeps on moving up. 2.9k, about to reclaim the 3k level. Finally some action again. 3k. Let's see if we can be moving towards 3k again. Bitcoin grinding against 89k now. Grinding against 89k. Are we going to reclaim it here? Potentially. Yeah, we are going to reclaim it maybe. Oh, we are so close. We are so close. We are so close. Look at how close we are. Are we going to get rejected here? Seriously? Are we going to get rejected here? Seems like we are going to break it. Yes, 89. We just hit 89k. Could we be moving towards 90k next? Or are we going to get rejected here? ETH. Closing in on 3k. Bitcoin above 89 here. Accidentally closed my chat. Bitcoin is now back into the bear flag pattern, which is very interesting. But now also getting rejected US futures here. This time the yen rate hike is already priced in, mostly I guess. I would say so, but you could still be seeing panic hitting the US stock markets was something I discussed also before I was live here. 89% chance the Fed or that Bank of Japan is going to hike the rates indeed on Friday. Ultimately, I think this is mostly priced in indeed by the markets, but still, we could be in for some surprises. Of course, we could be in for some surprises here, with the U.S. stock market panicking, for example. U.S. futures are coming down here a little bit. Same for ETH and Bitcoin. Bitcoin wholesale 89. Now back below 89k. Alright, interesting. We do finally have some action again. Thank you, Cryptos guy. Let's go. What a legends. Let's go, Cryptex. Take profits done. Take profit 2 done on Sui. Legend. Somewhat of stagnation now. Yeah, the big question is going to be where is Bitcoin going to close its daily candle? Because now I think you can see the perfect rejection once again here at the bear flag bottom. If you could see a bigger push higher towards mid-range than a daily close, that's where it gets interesting for more topside again. But now I'm going to stay cautious here. And I still think this is going to be the best scenario for us, but let's see. And eventually, if you truly want to see Bitcoin breaking much higher, and same can be said for ETH, we should be looking into the yearly open breakout. The yearly open breakout might actually be a very good one to trade also, with a tight stop loss here, potentially moving something like this. Moving towards your next yearly open, breaking down. A lot of interesting scenarios we have ahead of us here. By the way, we also saw the initial jobless claims coming out, but they came out just a little bit lower than expected, and a little bit lower than the last reading, so not that interesting there. $27 still on poly market here for the 25 BPS rate hike. I think the move is stagnating a little bit now, but ETH remains to be strong, I must say. ETH remains to be strong. US futures are having some trouble. Alright, alright. I am getting a little bit exhausted. I'm so sorry, guys, that I made a mistake with the stream here today. But we've seen the CPI inflation data once again. I think ETH is holding up very strong here, actually. Now moving up once again. I don't want to be ending the stream too quickly. Bitcoin is moving down, Ethereum is moving up. That probably means that the Ethereum versus Bitcoin reading is also doing well here. Yes, Ethereum versus Bitcoin is moving much higher. Interesting. Alright, alright. Let's see how this will will develop over the evening here. If there's going to be something super emergency type, then I will be back. Let's see if we can be reclaiming some important levels, but I think you guys do know the thesis by now and what I'm looking into. I hope that's clear for all of you. The trading position I'm eyeing, if you do want to prepare for this trading position or want to trade other stuff yourself, Ethereum, smaller altcoins, make sure to check out Lbank with the new offer we currently have, 50% deposit bonus, and of course a lot of other prizes to win for the holiday season. You can find that link here in the description on the live stream to Lbank, so make sure to check it out. Thanks for streaming, absolutely no problem again. Next time I will make sure I'm live once I'm once I am trying to do so, and we will do a little bit of a longer live stream, but for today I think it's fine, and let's see how this will be developing overnight. So guys, thanks you all for watching once again, and I will see you guys within the update video, next update video tomorrow morning.